Floyd Wallace to stay in Colombia to avoid a DNA test? Would he really do that? Does the Pope poop in the woods? Chili de Castro gets really upset with YouTube and blames our Discord for mass reporting his videos to get them taken down. YouTube responds, so what? Long Island Audit totally is not bullying when he brings his group of out-of-towners to the Groton City Council meeting. Says he stands up for me, we the people, and he and his $156,000 billboard truck are fighting terrible oppression. Plus, Regan Benson's new obsession involves writing naughty words and drawing phallic symbols outside of city buildings. Has she finally reached the snapping point? I'm your humble news reader, Pants. You're a 53-year-old red-headed grandmother into kinky drawings in public spaces. Will you bring your little basket over to my place to do a personal chalk outline of our mutual auditing insanity? YouTuber Floyd Wallace surprised fans for a second day in a row on Wednesday, prematurely ending a live stream to go get a haircut after receiving a $20 donation from a fan, and then promising to return to stream the haircut while successfully avoiding tough questions about his child in the United States. The successful fundraising stream came a day after Floyd became upset at fans for not participating in his fundraising campaign, where he was attempting to raise $195 for a desired trip to Cali, Colombia. Wallace, lying in bed and refusing to do anything, including engaging with the chat at one point, unless his fans gave donations, did little to actually earn those donations. He rejected several offers to perform demeaning stunts before becoming upset at his fans and ending, then making the live stream private. Wednesday started with more of the same as Wallace again resorted to lying in bed and refusing to interact with his fans unless they gave him Super Chat or Cash App donations. When asked why he was always in bed, Wallace said he was depressed and had nothing else to do. He then opened up about his sex life, claiming that he had a date with 2 women Tuesday night, and he took them out for crepes and waffles after he earlier had sampled fish and chips. Wallace, of course, claimed that he had sex with both women after the date, though he said that the act was not as enjoyable as one-on-one encounters with women. He exclaimed that the 2 women were too much to manage, and he would not be seeking to repeat the encounter in the near future. The cash-strapped YouTuber surprisingly announced that he was considering staying in Colombia until September 17th, but more than likely would be seeking to stay in the country until November or December. While no mention was made of his new son on Wednesday's live stream, on Tuesday's live stream, Wallace said that the woman who claimed he fathered his child was lying and that he would get a DNA test when he returned to the States. Wallace's announcement on Wednesday apparently punts that DNA test until the end of the year. He's shown no signs of wanting to interact with his potential offspring and has previously stated that he never wanted children in the United States. The YouTuber always seemed to indicate that he wanted children to be raised outside of the United States, where child support laws were more lenient, and as an American, he could simply return to the United States if he ran into trouble. Wallace has also declared that he would only be willing to give the mother of his child, if the baby is established to be his son, $100 to $200 tops a month in court-ordered child support. He told his supporters that if ordered to provide child support from a court, he would refuse to help out further with the child, as court-ordered support would put his sex tourism at risk. In his advice for the day, Wallace told possible sex tourists that they needed to disassociate with any women who disrespected them while traveling. He said that as a man in a foreign country, any woman who showed disrespect was likely out to drug and rob them and was not worth the hassle. Wallace would later upload a video of his hair being cut Wednesday night, as promised. Fans wondered how far the mighty had fallen Wednesday night, as for the second night in a row, bombastic Regan Benson gave up on a loud confrontation with various authority figures in order to retreat to her car to write obscene messages and draw phallic symbols in front of public buildings. Benson's first target was her old friend, the Englewood Civic Center. A city council meeting was scheduled for Tuesday night, and true to form, the non-Englewood resident was set to deliver a blistering speech to update her efforts to sue the city for the evils that they did to her and maybe talk about homelessness. The YouTube sensation encountered a new to the security desk, but not new to Benson, member of the Englewood Police Department, turn on his body cam as soon as he saw her approach the security desk. He then informed her, in error, that she couldn't record in the area. Immediately enraged, Benson verbally attacked the man, later detailing all of her experiences with the officer over the years in a stream of consciousness-level rant. She stormed into the meeting room and confronted a police official about the incident, who told her that he'll correct the officer. Benson, now incensed, walked outside of the meeting room and began to update the story of a homeless man named Josh, who had been suspended from using the Englewood Public Library for 45 days, for refusing to move when he was sitting on the floor playing a card game within the library. Walking down to the lower level of the building where the library is located, she told her viewers that Josh lost his appeal, and his hearing was handled by someone who had a problem with Josh, so of course, he lost. She entered the library, confirmed that the latest version of the Englewood Public Conduct Guidelines was posted to the wall, then went back upstairs. Again, approaching the security area, she asked the officer and an allied security guard if she had permission to sit on the floor in the lobby outside of the secured area. Both men indicated she could do so. Now, sitting on the floor outside of the secured area, Benson told her followers that she would prevail in her lawsuit against the Englewood City Council. Focusing entirely on herself, she called the city council members and their attorneys idiots, and indicated that the city council would end up costing the taxpayers thousands of dollars as they countersued her. Later, speaking during the public feedback portion of the meeting, Benson revealed that the city is asking for $200,000 in counterclaims, and she said they would be unsuccessful in challenging her lawsuit against them. The advocate for the homeless briefly mentioned that Englewood was evil to the homeless before declaring that there are multiple new lawsuits against them and that Christopher Denver Metro Audit's Cordova was now suing a police department for false arrest. A Pacer search revealed that Cordova has indeed filed a new lawsuit against the members of the Colorado Springs Police Department for an arrest in 2023. There was no new filing against Englewood as of yet. Finishing her remarks, Benson would eventually storm out of the chamber and return to her car. She then pulled out her chalk bucket and went to work on a profanity-laden chalk mural in front of the building, with insults directed at city council and police force. Wednesday's live stream featured more of the same, as Benson was now in Denver for the District 3 monthly CAB meeting. Before entering the building, a member of Benson's side chat told her that the audio was muffled on her live stream, and she lashed out at the person, calling him an idiot and claiming it was not possible as she was on the latest and greatest Android phone. With muffled audio, Benson would enter the building to find that the meeting was rescheduled to the 10th due to the shortened week because of the Labor Day holiday. Now outraged, Benson chastised the worker at reception as the website had not been updated with the due date. While standing in the lobby, Benson revealed that she was now suing Denver's District 3 as police refused to nominate her to the Citizens Use of Force Board last year. She claimed it was a violation of her civil rights and that the police had nothing to fear, as she would sign an NDA before taking part in the board. Benson demanded to talk to a member of the command staff when Lieutenant Troy Sandoval arrived in the lobby. He turned on his body camera, which further enraged Benson. The sometimes advocate for the homeless demanded to know when the problems with the website would be resolved, as this was the second time that she had arrived to find changes to the CAB meeting that were not on the website. Benson said she would not be joining the email list provided by the Denver District 3, and again stormed out of the building when the police officer could not help her further. Benson returned to her car and restarted the stream as her audio had been muffled for the half-hour ordeal within the police building. She then turned her attention to creating a chalk mural, this time targeting police officials with obscenity-laden messages, drawings of male sexual organs, and hate for the next 2 hours before she ended her live stream. It was yet another outrage for pay in the world of Sean Paul Long Island Audit Reyes on Tuesday, as he live-streamed from outside of the Groton, Connecticut City Hall, accompanied by his usual band of associates and his $156,000 electronic billboard truck. With the billboard truck showing a looping video of Groton Mayor Rachel Franco chastising City Council member Portia Bordelon playing over his shoulder, Reyes explained to his fans that what he was doing was not bullying, calling out the government and putting outside pressure on the government, and the use of his electronic billboard was instead of standing up for the little guy and providing a voice to we the people. Critics were quick to point out that the little guy that Reyes was standing up for was himself, and the slogan should be me the people. Reyes is one of the most popular YouTubers in the First Amendment auditing space, owns 2 homes in an affluent part of New York, goes on luxury vacations with his family and has brought in over $50,000 in GoFundMe donations since July. Reyes also announced that he was there with his friends to give the city of Groton and Mayor Franco copies of a lawsuit he was set to file pro se. In the suit, Reyes alleges that the mayor violated his rights by changing the length of time offered to citizens to redress their government from a blanket 5 minutes to 2 minutes per person, with a 30-minute time limit on the public feedback portion of the city council meeting. According to Reyes, the city council could not change the length of time for public feedback without a full vote by the council. Because the mayor did not allow a full vote over the objection of City Council member Portia Bordelon's objection, she was painted as a tyrant, while Bordelon was the hero to Reyes. Reyes also offered that he had heard from locals that Mayor Franco was having a sexual affair with the town manager. He said it was just a rumor, but made sure to emphasize it multiple times during the live stream. He also made the point that Mayor Franco was a friend of the wife of former Connecticut State Trooper Brian Fahey, who was recently charged with disorderly conduct after an incident in July at his home with Reyes, which saw Reyes charged with multiple counts, including voyeurism and criminal trespass. As the city council meeting began, Reyes and his associates sat quietly until the public speaking portion of the meeting began. The public feedback started with a few members of the community speaking out against the abuse brought to the council by outsiders and general negativity towards Reyes and his 3 associates. There was one speaker who spoke out against the change to the length of time speakers were allowed during the public speaking portion of the meeting. However, she did not endorse Reyes or his campaign. When it was Reyes's turn to speak, he threw a binder at city manager and threatened the city council with his lawsuit and a letter of demand, giving them 30 days to give in to his demands or face the burden of defending their actions in court. He promised he would be conducting an investigation into the rumor that the mayor was having an inappropriate sexual relationship with the town manager, and made it clear again that he represented "we the people." New Jersey-based attorney turned auditor Leonard Leroy Truth Filipowski was one of 3 pro-Reyes voices heard at the event. He started his remarks by asking the mayor to give him an answer to the question of, "How corrupt are you?" on a scale of 1 to 10. Filipowski then went silent and let the audio of the confrontation between Mayor Rachel Franco chastising City Council member Portia Bordelon play for the majority of his remaining time. He finished by asking the mayor when she was going to do the people's will and resign her position. After the event, Reyes chastised those who spoke out against the treatment he had given to the mayor and city council as the mayor's goons. He claimed that the 3 voices of outrage heard, all brought with him, were the true voice of the people, and implied that the people of Groton were too intimidated to speak up. Reyes's live stream brought in $1,068 in Super Chat donations, saw 34,346 total views, with a peak concurrent viewership of 9,079. It brought in 70 comments and 8,007 likes as of press time. Unfortunately for Reyes, the outrage has not carried over into his GoFundMe donations, as his Help Me Fight These Unlawful Charges and Injustice fund brought in $20 for Thursday. Our own Ongoing Expenses Fund took second place with a $10 donation. No other campaigns that we follow saw donations for Thursday. Reyes would make news on Thursday as he brought his electronic billboard truck to the Danielson Superior Court in Danielson, Connecticut. The YouTuber said that former State Police Sergeant Brian Fahey had been arraigned on disorderly conduct charges and could face up to 90 days in the county jail if convicted of the charges against him. The YouTuber said he was very upset that he was unable to be there for the arraignment, as Fahey has a protective order against him. According to Reyes, Fahey pled not guilty to the charge against him. Then Fahey had a secret meeting with the judge where accelerated rehabilitation was discussed. Reyes called out the special treatment and alleged without proof that he had heard from former associates that Fahey assaulted individuals while they were in custody and was a known drug dealer as a member of the police force. The YouTuber also expressed outrage that Fahey's file was sealed by the judge, then promised that he would be seeking a modification of Fahey's protective order in order to allow his presence at further hearings, as Reyes claimed to be news media. This is a breaking news story. An alarmed Jose Chili de Castro released an emergency statement on the community tab of his YouTube channel on Thursday after his latest live stream was age restricted and that his appeal was rejected. De Castro wrote, "Today my video was age restricted and demonetized. Here's a link to that video and the conversation I had with YouTube administration. The video is age restricted and demonetized because why? Well, just because. When I wrote I'm going to post this chat, the specialist replied, YouTube can delete your channel. Eek! I post this because I think YouTube will delete this channel soon. If I have no idea what I've done wrong, what could age restrict your video? Then I'm bound to do it again. As you'll read from the chat, 3 people work with me on this channel. One is full-time and my right hand. The other is part-time and works with me for very little money. He's just a dedicated soul. 90% of the income we make here on YouTube comes from memberships, super chats, and donations through my website, DeleteLawZ.com, and via the various pay apps and Zelle. You won't believe this conversation. It's proof of what I've been saying. My videos are being age-restricted and demonetized just because. I don't know who to reach out to at YouTube, but this is pathetic. It's a 5-minute read." Curiously, in the document De Castro provided of his interaction with a YouTube customer service bot, and later a YouTube customer service representative, De Castro repeats a series of questionable statements about trolls who are gathered in a Discord server that coordinates efforts to mass report all of his videos. De Castro claimed that over 100 people are involved in the Discord server, where they sit around all day discussing him. He asserted that the same people use the contents of his videos in their own videos, and that his lawyer is a member of the main Discord server that he is having problems with. The YouTuber is currently represented by that Randall S., the unhinged attorney, Newman, Esquire, in his lawsuit against John Irish Demon O'Day, and by attorney Michael Mee in his lawsuit against members of the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Force. Of the two, Newman is an active Discord user on DeCastro's own Discord server, Kate Peters' Masshole-related server, and our own Really Cool Newswire server. Newman had previously been a member of Merb's server until Merb publicly ejected him from that server last night. As DeCastro's own server, which reportedly is struggling to maintain 30 members, is apparently not the home to the conspiracy against him, it is eliminated. A quick review of Kate Peters' That Damn Chili Room shows that the forum hasn't had a new message since August 19th, 2025. There are no signs of an active rebellion or coordinated efforts against DeCastro on the server. While Peters' previous server was the home of a legendary Chili DeCastro forum, most of the members of that forum moved over to our own Really Cool Newswire server last year, when Peters' original server was removed from Discord. Our server features a forum for discussion of DeCastro, along with a forum that is devoted to automatically posted notifications of his Twitter posts and his YouTube videos. Attorney Newman has his own forum, which is essentially devoted to arguing about life, the universe, and DeCastro. As for the contents of our forums, we invite those who are curious to take a look at our content by following the Discord links provided on our videos and on our website. We are a public forum, and we do not remove content on a regular basis. We reject Mr. DeCastro's accusations fully, and will be seeking a third party to report on the story should DeCastro follow through with his apparent lawsuit threat against those who are conspiring against him. Full disclosure, Mr. Newman, along with Merb and Patrick Darcy, have contributed funds to help support Really Cool News pay for documents related to the cases we cover. In more DeCastro-related news, the diminutive YouTuber got another win on Wednesday, as a late order by the judge in his lawsuit against John Irish Demon O'Day granted his attorney, that Randall S., the unhinged attorney Newman, Esquire, the ability to serve Irish Demon via email in their ongoing lawsuit against the Irish YouTuber. The move came as a surprise to most followers of the case, as Attorney Newman had only filed for email service Wednesday morning. In that filing, he asked for the ability to serve O'Day via email, along with a parent partner on O'Day's Irish Demon channel, Joe Familette of the Creator Growth Group Investment Fund. Familette is not a defendant in the lawsuit. However, the request was made to serve Familette as an attorney for O'Day after Familette contacted Newman, and Familette was seen as a channel to get in touch with O'Day. Almost immediately after the ruling, Mr. Newman served O'Day and Familette and submitted documentation of the service to the court. This is an ongoing news story. We need your help. Both ReallyCoolSite.org's daily newspaper and our daily newscasts are funded by your continuing donations and what we make from our YouTube AdSense revenue each month. If you'd like to contribute to help us keep the lights on, eating, feeding the cats, defending ourselves from lawsuit threats, and writing news stories to feature on both the newspaper and newscast each day, you can do so via a donation to our PayPal, Cash App, or GoFundMe accounts. If you can't afford to contribute, please watch our videos from beginning to end, like, share, subscribe, and comment. You can help by doing next to nothing, and we thank you in advance for pitching in.